You know that moment when someone at a dinner party says they work in finance and everyone nods like they understand? Yeah, they don't. And traders absolutely know it. Because working in finance is the most polite way to describe what might actually be the closest thing to legal gambling combined with stress induced insomnia and the occasional existential crisis. So, today we're breaking down the 7 most hilarious trader quotes about what working in finance actually means. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll either think traders are geniuses or absolutely insane. Probably both. In the next 8 minutes, you're going to hear some genuinely funny, but also weirdly accurate takes on what finance professionals deal with every single day. These aren't your boring finance textbook quotes. These are the real, unfiltered observations from people who've literally made or lost millions before lunch. You'll get a peek behind the curtain at the chaos, the humor, and the brutal honesty that keeps the financial world running. Plus, you might actually laugh. That's the goal here. Too? All right, so here's the thing. Every trader you've ever met has said this exact phrase, and they genuinely believe it. But let's be real for a second. The line between calculated risk and I'm just hoping this stock goes up is thinner than a margin call notice. One trader put it perfectly. I don't gamble. I just make informed decisions based on patterns that literally nobody can predict. Which, okay, sure. That's one way to spin flipping a coin. The difference is traders use spreadsheets and coffee instead of a coin. Lots of coffee. We're talking IV drip levels of coffee. What's wild is they're not completely wrong. There's real skill involved, but there's also luck and volatility, and that one random news story that tanks everything at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. So yeah, it's calculated. But calculated how? That's the question nobody can actually answer. This one kills me every time. Traders say this like it's something to be proud of. Like, yeah, I'm slowly destroying my circadian rhythm and my body's ability to regulate cortisol. But hey, at least I caught that 6 a.m. Asian market opening. One famous trader actually said, "Sleep is for people who don't have positions open." Which is hilarious because, buddy, that's literally sleep deprivation talking. That's not a flex. That's a cry for help wrapped in a Hermes tie. But here's what they mean. The markets never sleep, and neither do they. When you've got millions of dollars moving around the globe 24/7, you can't just clock out at 5 p.m. and expect everything to be fine. You've got London opening, then Tokyo, then New York. It's a never-ending cycle of checking your phone, refreshing news feeds, and wondering if you made the right call. The real kicker? They actually do sleep less. Studies show traders average like 5 to 6 hours a night. So it's not a joke. It's their actual life. Which is kind of sad when you think about it, but also explains why they're so cranky all the time. Skato. Okay, so you've definitely heard a trader brag about this, and it sounds incredible. 6 figures in a month? That's insane, right? Except they're leaving out some crucial details. They're not mentioning that they lost 7 figures the month before, or that 6 figures is their gross profit before taxes, fees, commissions, and the money they're paying to their therapist because they can't handle the stress. After all that, maybe they actually kept 2 figures. One trader's honest take was, I made $1 million last year. I also lost $1.5 million. So technically, I paid my broker a commission for the privilege of stress testing my marriage. That's the real quote energy right there. The thing is, trading income is volatile, like genuinely unpredictable. You could have the best month of your life and the worst month right after. So when a trader tells you about their big win, remember, they're probably also not telling you about the 3 nights they couldn't sleep because they were down $500,000. This quote is pure trader energy, and it's funny because it's usually said by someone who's losing money. There's this weird thing that happens in finance where intelligence and overconfidence become basically the same thing. A trader once said, I could work anywhere, but I chose to trade because regular jobs are for people who can't handle the complexity. Which, okay, first of all, you're working for a brokerage, so you are employed. But also, this is what we call the Dunning-Kruger effect with a Bloomberg terminal. Here's the reality. Some traders are genuinely brilliant, but some traders are just confident. And confidence in finance will lose you money faster than literally anything else. You know what beats intelligence? The market. The market beats everyone consistently. That's kind of the whole point. But traders can't admit that because the whole identity is built on being smarter than everyone else. So they'll rationalize every loss as the market being irrational instead of maybe I made a bad call. Its defense mechanism meets ego, meets too much caffeine. Traders will tell you the stress is worth it, that the adrenaline rush is addictive, that they love the pressure. And yeah, some of them probably do, but a lot of them, they're just coping. One trader's quote that really stuck with me: "The stress is like a drug. You hate it and love it at the same time. You can't imagine doing anything else, but you also can't imagine continuing to do this." That's not enthusiasm. That's Stockholm Syndrome with portfolio statements. The financial industry has an insane burnout rate. Like, we're talking about people leaving in their 30s because they can't handle it anymore. They made money, sure, but they also lost their health, their relationships, and their ability to enjoy anything that doesn't involve watching a stock ticker. What's funny is traders will frame this as a feature, not a bug. "Oh, you get used to it." No, you don't. You just become numb to it. That's different. That's actually worse. This one's my favorite because it's so not true. And traders know it's not true, but they say it anyway to make themselves sound noble. It's not about making money, it's about beating the market. It's about winning. Sure, buddy. And that's why you're buying a second penthouse. For the competition. Here's what they actually mean: I want to make so much money that I can prove I'm better than everyone else, and the money is just the scoreboard. Which is fine. Just be honest about it. The competition is about money. Money is literally how you keep score in finance. One trader said it best: "If money didn't matter, I'd still be doing this, but I'd be doing it from a beach. The fact that I'm in this office means the money definitely matters." Finally, some honesty. The psychology here is interesting, though. Because if you admit it's about money, that sounds greedy. But if you say it's about competition, that sounds noble. So traders convince themselves it's about the game, when really it's about the paycheck. Both things can be true, but let's not pretend the money isn't the primary motivator. This might be the most universal trader quote of all time, and it's always a lie. Or at least it usually is. Every single trader says this: "I'm gonna make one more big trade, bank a few more million, and then I'm out. I'll buy a vineyard in Napa. I'll travel the world. I'll finally spend time with my family." It's the trader's version of, "I'll start my diet on Monday." And you know what? Some of them do leave, but most of them don't. Because here's the thing about finance. Once you're in it, it's almost impossible to get out. The money's too good. The lifestyle becomes normal. And the moment you think about leaving, the market does something crazy and you think, just one more year. I could make enough to retire for real next time. One trader put it perfectly: "I've been saying I'm getting out for 15 years. I'm now 47, I have 3 ex-wives, and I still check the market from the bathroom. This isn't a job. It's a life sentence." That's the real quote energy. The truth is, the money becomes a trap. You get used to a certain lifestyle. Your expenses expand. Your identity becomes wrapped up in being a trader. So even though you're miserable, you can't leave because you don't know who you'd be without it. Oh, sí. Oh, those. All right, so there you have it. The 7 most hilarious and brutally honest trader quotes about working in finance. And honestly, these quotes are funny because they're true. There's real stuff happening in that world that's both admirable and kind of ridiculous at the same time. If you found this funny, or if you work in finance and felt personally attacked, hit that subscribe button. We've got more videos about the weird reality of money, investing, and the people who dedicate their lives to moving it around. New videos every week. And hey, if you're a trader watching this, no offense. You're probably crushing it, or you're losing it all. Either way, at least you're entertaining. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. End of script.